premises are hard to see, and that is just fine with me.
Wait, stop the opening. Stop. Alright, so part of my opening has this sequence of events where I asked Bill Nye a question during a big think thing where he invited people to ask questions, and I asked him if the moon was made out of green cheese, what would that be like? And he responded to that, and it was pretty cool to get on there and to have him answer my question and to say the fake name of Dan and to think about it. And he didn't answer all my questions, but he did answer the question to some extent, and it seemed like he had fun with it, and I enjoyed that, and I put it in my opening because important things go in my opening. But now it seems that Bill Nye is not the science guy. No, Bill Nye has drunk the Kool-Aid guy. Bill Nye, drunk Kool-Aid guy. Bill Nye, drunk Kool-Aid guy. Social justice rules. Yeah, so his show, Bill Nye Saves the World, is at least 2 episodes, if not more, have gone full SJW. And you don't want to go full SJW. But he did. I don't know why. Who put him up to it? The producers or whatever? I don't know. But he's sitting there talking about gender. There's more than one gender. And I got to thinking, it's as if we heard this guy talk about kinds and try to defend the idea of kinds. And say, well, there's different kinds. There's birds, and there's dogs, and there's fish. And then those are all different kinds, you see? It's all flexible. There's not different species. That's speciesism. We need different kinds because it's more friendly and it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. There's 2 genders, male and female. Period. End of story. That's all. Thanks very much. Oh, but Deconverted Man, what about hermaphrodites? Oh, the 1% of humanity that's ever been that? Whatever the percentage is, really low, 30% maybe. Okay, so find me a few, first of all. Then, are they a true hermaphrodite? That is to say, do they have both genitalia? And do both fully function? And, finally, what about their genetics? Is it pure half and half? Or is one slightly greater than the other? Now, if you can find one human that was 50-50 split, even genetically, then I'd say, okay, we need a new category. Which we already have. It's called hermaphrodite. But that would still not mean that there's more than one gender. It would just be, this is 2 genders at the same time. And I don't think that you would need another word other than hermaphrodite. The fact that it's very, very rare doesn't negate that we have a word for it or need to have a word for it, but it kind of makes it a very moot point. But we do have a word for it, so we don't need more. Transgender, transsexual, however you want to put that, people. That is somebody that is born with their brain telling them that you're female. That happens, and we have people that are born with their brains telling them that they're male. Show me an example of somebody where their brain is telling them that there's something else completely. Prove that empirically. Don't just say it. Don't just say subjective feelings and opinions. No. Show the hard science that proves that their brain is actually made to think that it is something else. We would expect to have more testosterone or more estrogen in individuals where their brain is telling them, I'm this or I'm that. And usually you do, and sometimes you don't, but you see certain activity in the brain that they can see it. Now, right now, that's post-mortem, so we have to wait until they're dead. So I don't know if there's a study you can do while they're alive. So they kind of need something like that, to be absolutely sure that this person really does belong in a different body before doing expensive, pretty much irreversible surgery and putting them on several different drugs that are going to alter their physiology. Now, there's a bunch of hoops that people already have to jump through, and I can only imagine that being a pain in the rear end. And it's a pretty decent system. Maybe it could be better. In fact, if we had like a brain scan where you could just scan somebody's brain and be like, yeah, it says you should be this gender, maybe some of those hoops could go away and make it an easier process rather than doing the psychology stuff to make sure that they feel like they're a woman or a man or whatever. By and large, the people who don't want to be the gender that their body is want to be the other gender. But you have these people claiming, I want to be something else. And I think they're confusing gender with having sex, which is different. There are things that people want to have sex with. Some of them make no sense. But hey, look, whatever. When I was a young lad, I would rub on just about anything that there was in sight and try to put it in wherever it could possibly fit. Should I say that on the video, or it's fine? You think it's okay? Okay. I was asking my pretend director if I should leave that in. And I can imagine that most people explored their genitalia when they were young and put things in it or put it in things as the case might be. And as you get older, that curiosity may or may not fade away. So you might be inclined to continue placing that in places where you might not want to, or that could be bad for you. But hey, look, if it's all consensual, or if nothing is being harmed, then okay. There are reports of people that love buildings and bridges. Do they want to make love to those things? Do they want to have sex with them? I don't know. Maybe. And hey, if they can do that in a way that's not disruptive to anybody else, more power to them. You want to have sex with a tree? Go ahead. Have sex with a tree. But that doesn't mean that your gender is tree, because that doesn't make sense. If you want to dress up as a squirrel and find somebody else that's dressed up as a cat, and the two of you want to have sex dressed up that way, fine, great, wonderful. But it doesn't mean you're a cat or a squirrel. You can call yourself a furry. That's fine. But calling yourself a cat is kind of, I don't know, a little strange. A little off the bell curve of normal. And might need some therapy. Maybe. Just maybe. Oh, well, it's not hurting anybody and you're oppressing me. No, I'm worried about your mental well-being. Seriously. Go seek help. You might not need it. Maybe you are fine. But people always act like, oh, when you suggest that somebody gets looked at, that means they're insane. No, I don't know. I can't tell you that. I was talking to this person that said that they heard God and that they seen an angel fall from the sky, but then they were saying they hadn't seen an angel fall from the sky. So I don't know, but they hear God in their head, and God always tells them to do good stuff. Well, that's wonderful for now. But what if God tells them to do something bad? Well, God won't ever do that, because if I ever hear God telling me to do something bad, I know that that's not God. And I'm like, no, you don't know that that's not God. 1. 2, you don't know that you wouldn't do it. And so maybe, just maybe, you should get checked out and see if it's just your brain messing with you. And if you take a drug and then the voice of God goes away, well, then it wasn't really God, was it? It was you. Now, if it stays there, well, then I don't think it's God, but okay, at least you took the drug and you were fine in other respects, and you're not too kooky crazy. But I want you to go find out, and me telling you that is because I care about you, not because I'm saying, oh, you're crazy. Maybe you are, though. I don't know. But go find out. It's like, oh, I notice you always eat sweets. You better see a dentist soon. You know, or I noticed that you're limping. Maybe you should see a doctor. Oh, no. I'm fine. I'm just fine. I could go on and on. But bottom line, Bill Nye has produced not anti-science, but what else are you going to call it? Pseudoscience? Isn't anything that isn't really science, but pretending to be science, anti-science in a way? I don't know. So, I can't include him in my opening anymore. I need a new opening. There's only 2 genders, male and female. That's science. Oh, hermaphrodite, well, that's still male and female. That's not like a third category. But if you really want it to be, then fine. What I'll do is I'll imagine it like the Triforce. See, you have wisdom, courage, and power, right? And they want power, those who lack courage. But those who have wisdom understand that power is useless without courage. And those who have courage know that they can beat those who only have power and not wisdom. So see, only by having all 3 can you obtain true enlightenment. What the hell am I talking about? When did this become about Zelda? Does Zelda prove God exists now or something? I don't know, man. But here's my new opening that will then be included in the opening. It will make sense later. No, it won't.
That stupid tree is a little bitty bird, cute as a UPC. Little bitty bird just sitting in the tree. Then you took that chance of yours, cut off its little head.
Be like one of these pleasing Patreons: Jacob Santos, Joseph Smith, Hector Defendi, Robert W. Lester, or William McTray, and be a Patreon person. I said Patreon.